for the sports gamer.
The arcade sports gaming marketplace is wide open for the taking, with little competition across several genres of games. Developer Servios Incorporated throws their hat into the ring with Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions. Creed Champions takes some of its cues from Ready to Rumble Boxing, a Sega Dreamcast arcade classic. It may even elicit memories of the street brawler Def Jam Vendetta. Although its graphical achievement in its own right, Creed Champions' engine struggles to find depth to make a long-lasting name for itself.
The moment you've all waited for, the main event.
Starting off with the gameplay, Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions takes place within the Rocky universe, full of characters and history from the iconic Fight franchise. The game was designed with the casual fan in mind, featuring simplified controls, but the Fight game engine offers up two movesets, Basic and Power, that pair with a super to add more depth for more advanced users. The engine is welcoming but lacks tempo and balance. The movement in Creed Champions is ultimately too stiff and lacks precision and tact. The character models are too rigid and need more balance, with fighters not even being able to bob and weave. In Ready to Rumble, an arcade boxer had more fluid motion and it was developed over 20 years ago. Further, the animation frames takes too long to process, negatively impacting precision timing windows and combination execution. Moreover, the game does not feature quality animation branching, so you're locked in once you throw a combo, largely uninterrupted by your opponent's moves or animations. The game's armored throws are protected from interruption, which is a questionable design decision. Accordingly, it's difficult to chain together basic punches with lengthy power throws, which leads to the fighting tempo feeling pretty janky. Creed Champion too often becomes a haymaker slugfest. Now, I would 100% welcome this, but ultimately the execution misses its mark. For starters, there's no stamina meter for boxers. Naturally, power punchers and supers are going to be overused. Next, tactical dodges rarely avoid damage. The dodges are ineffective due to poor collision detection when dodging power punches, which connect fairly often, further encouraging their use. As a result, chained together power punches, which are the majority of punches thrown, can feel choppy and occasionally unresponsive. In all, power throws require many frames and the resulting slugfest lack technicality. The flow of the fights can suffer, and counter-based fighting in the mold of Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not a viable option to win bouts. As far as responsiveness, the basic scripted combos are the most polished gameplay mechanic. You can find those in the move list for each fighter. Basic combos finish with a mini power throw. It is rewarding to pull off a combo, and these quick punches feel the most snappy and responsive. Those quick strikes require the least amount of frames to animate. Now, the visuals of throwing basic combos are also pleasing. Combos culminate with a mini power throw that features a neon color stream that trails your fist like a jet stream. Further, basic combos are easiest to land and require fewer frames and time to chain together, granting them the most utility in the game. Feel-wise, these combos snap and pop on impact. They are the bread and butter of Creed Champions and the most satisfying way to score points. The execution of these moves is fun, rewarding, and shows promise for the franchise. Now, the idea of an arcade boxer is exciting, and I want this title to be an experience that we cannot find elsewhere. The insane haymakers can be an absolute joy, but the fights can grow stale. Servios has a foundation here, and it has potential to be special one day, but the fighting engine is underdeveloped and holds the game back. Long animations create issues with executing organic combinations, and as I mentioned previously, no stamina meter does, in my opinion, have a negative impact on the depth of the gameplay.
Out in the ring, who will win?
This is my fight. Fight me.
The art direction outpaces the gameplay with exciting arenas and environments. The chosen art style by Servio Studios is a great choice which fits the style of the game perfectly, which features 20 anime-like character models from the Rocky universe, and this graphic style can be ported across many gaming platforms by Servios. Each character archetype has its own feel, and I see potential in developing each fighter's animated movesets and personas further in future installments. Secondly, Creed Champions features many arenas, each with a distinct feel. Each canvas adds a layer of personality to every venue. The ring graphics are more reminiscent of THQ's wrestling titles than the Fight Night series, which works as well. The game's environment are beautifully created with lighting casting dynamic shadows across the rings and canvas. They're cinematically showcased front and center with dimly lit crowds in the backdrops. Lastly, the wide angle camera creates a sense of space and openness to explore my boxer. Creed Champions deserves high marks on intriguing character art, environmental design, and camera work. The game builds a form contextual awareness in the ring with dynamic wide angles and explorable canvases. I enjoy each arena to experience different lighting, seeking out a different feel for each fight. The one flaw in the game's presentation ties back to gameplay. Creed Champions character models lack progressive bruising or sweat. The lack of progressive bruising detracts from the gameplay strategy, which brings up the issue that the game lacks damage zones on the boxers' bodies. And all these subtle boxing simulation details have the potential to elevate the game, even if this is an arcade boxer. The game lacks these more refined points that can add character and lasting appeal. The sound design in Creed Champions is also satisfactory. The voice acting is minimum but powerful, featuring sound bites from the stars from the Rocky saga. The cuts from Stallone and Michael B. Jordan are a joy. I want to bring more of these characters to life. Continuing, the music selection and gameplay occasionally come together, evoking intense emotional moments in the ring. These are the moments I play for, and it was a pleasant surprise to experience goosebumps with this arcade fighter. The soundtrack to Creed Champions is highlighted by Eye of the Tiger, The Roots, Meek Mill, and Gene Aiko. The themes occasionally come together and achieve a Philly boxing vibe as portrayed in the Creed films. The story mode, a staple in most fight games, is completely bare bones, and the career mode is much of the same. The main benefit is that you will meet new and zany characters from the Rocky universe along the way, serving its primary purpose. The training minigames honestly don't improve your actual boxing stick skills much, and unfortunately become an afterthought. Servios could have better used his resources to develop a more balanced fight game engine. Instead, story mode provides an avenue to unlock characters and skins, but not much else. In all, the game lacking a strategic progression and reward system is definitely a miss. Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions delivers an overall uninspired boxing game. The gameplay, and more specifically the boxer locomotion, fails to compete with games created over 20 years ago. I don't think Creed Champions was given the proper development time that it needs. The lack of online play indicates how little time and investment Servios put into building a fresh, competitive boxing experience. Consequently, the game lacks competitive online play and capturing the competitive spirit of their characters, like the rawness of Michael B. Jordan's against all odds energy in the Creed films. Now, Creed Champions does deserve praise for its artistic style and is a gorgeous illustration of the Creed universe that comes to life. Just be aware that the excellent graphics will not overcome its mediocre fight engine in the long run. I do believe the framework of Creed Champions is certainly something to build upon. Servios has the digital assets, the IP, the financial backing, and the star athletes to work with. It even hypes me up at the thought of what this franchise can become in the future. Until then, Creed Champions is an underwhelming entry into arcade sports gaming. We give it a 5.5 out of 10.
That's how winning is done.
If you appreciate our content and all the work we do to bring you guys the latest news, tips, and gameplay from your favorite sports games, drop a like, subscribe to SGO today. You want to take your game to the next level? Then join SGO Insider.